What is up? What is up? Light so bright. What's good? Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. What's up? What's up? What's up, Eric? What's good? What up, Elms? Oh, man, she's starting at it real quick. She jumped at it real quick. All right, Miss Stacy. Real quick, comment your questions. Can y'all hear me? If y'all hear me, do a thumbs up. I got these damn AirPods in, them AirPod Pros. My first time using them. It sounds weird. But if y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up, emoji, whatever the hell. If you have questions, Miss Stacy, I see you got a question there. Just put the question in the little question box. It's going to be to the right. Just put the question there so I can see it and put it in there so everybody can see it as well. That way I don't have to keep scrolling, looking weird, looking like this. You know what I'm saying? So, what up, people? It's been a while since I've been on here, seem like. Been a while. Elm City, you're my inspiration, bro. No cap. I was digging your story, how you make it happen, G. I appreciate it, man. I mean, you can do it too, man. I promise you. Just got to lock the fuck in and get busy. Learn. You only learn by taking action. So if you can take one thing away from me, just go ahead and take action. And then just keep going. Don't quit. John Mack, my guy. What's good? So, yeah. So if anybody, I'm going to do a quick power hour Q&A session real quick. So any questions that you guys have about wholesaling, just feel free to comment them and put them in the question box. Make sure you put them in the question box. That way I'm able to see it, identify, get to them a little bit quicker. But I want to give some value today. So make sure you guys ask some good questions. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. I'm going to answer every single question that's asked so long as you put it in the question box. I may miss it if you put it in the chat box, okay? But other than that, hope you guys are having a good week. This week went by fucking fast. It's already Thursday. Might as well say Friday. On our side, this week we got 3 contracts signed this week. We were shooting for 5, but you know how that shit go. We still got another day, so we'll see what we can get. So everything is moving. We got a new hire in. He started on Monday, and he's solid. You know what I mean? So. So everything's looking good right now on our end. We got a lot of closings that's just been pushed back. We're dealing with title, dealing with escrow, dealing with tenants to move out, waiting on that bullshit. So if you know, you know. But nevertheless, that's just been delaying our money. But you gotta you have to practice delayed gratification, right? This industry is all about delayed gratification. You gotta be patient because it will come. So don't count your money before you get it. But there's a difference between counting it before you get it and affirming, right? So let me get to these questions real quick. Got a few questions in the box. I've lost count how many deals y'all have under contract. Right now we got like 12 deals under contract right now. It's crazy. Love the prop stream questions. Yeah, just comment your questions in the question box. There's a little question mark right there. So I'm going to get to them real quick. All right, boom. Let's get active. Let's not waste any more time. So Miss Stacy asks, what's the best way to get started in wholesaling if you are new? So the best way to get started is, one, you want to work on your mindset. You want to focus on your mindset, right? You want to adjust your mindset because when you get in this wholesale space or this entrepreneur space, you have to be locked in. You got to commit to it. It's a journey. Even though people are getting money fast, or it seems as if they're getting money fast, you have to understand it's going to be a process and everybody has their own path to take, right? So for me, it took me 6 months to close my first deal. For somebody else, it may take them 1 month or 2 months to close the first deal. But then you have other people who close their first deal so fast and then they go blank for another 4, 5, 6 months because they got lucky in the beginning and they didn't give themselves time to learn. So I would say, one, just focus on your mindset, adjust your mindset, be ready to commit to it, be ready to learn, don't quit, lock in, stay focused. And then you'll start to, you'll be able to be mentally prepared for it. And then next, just look on YouTube. That's what I did. You can go on YouTube, I got ebook you can learn from to give you the step-by-steps. Just learn the step-by-steps, A to Z. You know, how to find a seller, how to find a buyer, how to get the seller's phone number, how to do this, how to do that. And once you understand the process, then you're just going to have to start taking action. You're not going to learn everything. So don't try to see if you can learn everything. Just understand the first initial, the basics, the general basics of the process. Start taking action, and then you're going to start learning more as you go. But that's the best way to get started if you're new. Hope that helps. If that helped, if that was a good answer, you liked the response, you took something away from that, just drop a 100 emoji in the comments. That way, and if anybody else who's gotten value from my responses, just drop 100 in the emoji or drop an emoji in the comments or however you want to do it, just to let me know that, you know, you guys are listening, paying attention, and then you guys are getting value. But good question. Let's go on to the next one. All right. Miss Stacy again, she's going ahead and locking in with the question. She's getting to it. Fingers going crazy right now. Would you say PropStream is a need to get started? In my personal opinion, there's other softwares out there that are similar to PropStream, but in my personal opinion, I like PropStream. It was definitely a need for me. It's still a need for me because and here are the reasons why. So with PropStream, we use PropStream to pull big amount of lists, large amount of lists. What up, Unity? I got my fam in here, Unity fam in the building. What up, Janae? So we use PropStream to pull big amount of lists every single month. We use PropStream to look at some comps. And we also use PropStream to find cash buyers as well, like legitimate cash buyers. There's more shit that PropStream could do that we didn't really dig into that we need to start digging into. But that's primarily what we need it and what we use it for. So in my opinion, you would need something like that, whether it's PropStream, REI Pro, Batch Leads. There's so many of them out there you can utilize to help you out. So yeah. And if you want to try PropStream for free, I got a 7-day free trial, right? So if you click the link in my bio, look for PropStream. It's a 7-day free trial. They'll allow you to pull like a list of 50 property addresses or whatever. You can just test it out, play with it, and see if it's something for you. If it's a good fit, keep it going. If it's not a good fit, then go ahead and cancel before that 7 days or they'll charge you. But if you want the free trial to test it out, just go ahead and click the link in my bio for PropStream. But that's what we use. Let's see. Dax512 Wade asks, is it normal to get frustrated or emotional when cold calling just isn't working? Absolutely. It's normal, but it's cold calling is a mindset, right? You have to understand that it's not working. It's just part of the business, right? So anytime you're cold calling or you're calling somebody who's not expecting your call, who doesn't know you, you're going to get, or that doesn't want to sell or whatever the case may be, you're going to get all of those negative responses. No, I don't want to sell. Do not call me anymore. Put me on do not call list. F off. Fuck you. How do you get my number? All of that. You're going to get majority of that. But when you get the people that do want to sell, because there are people out there, that's who you're looking for. So the main thing is mindset. When it comes to cold calling, you got to keep your mindset. That's why I said earlier, focus on your mindset and train your mind, because the cold calling, and just understand that it's just for a short period of time. It's not for the long period of time. It's for the short term. So if you understand that, start cold calling for a little bit, right? Get some leads. And then once you get your first deal, use your first deal as a motivator to hire out your cold calling. That way you don't have to do it anymore. When I was cold calling, I knew in my mind that's not what I wanted to do long term. And I knew that it was for a short period of time. So I used that as motivation to try to get my first deal closed as soon as possible. And sure enough, as soon as I closed my first deal, my first person that I hired was a cold caller to do my cold calling for me. So now I don't get frustrated anymore with it, right? Because cold calling is brutal, right? It is brutal, but it takes, in order for you to hire somebody to do it, I always recommend you do it first so you can know what to expect so that you can lead and train the right way. So if you're looking to do cold calling, like, go through it, do it, deal with it, because it's going to help you build your tough skin when it comes to talking to people, especially if you're not a type of person that likes to talk to a lot of people. It's going to help you deal with that. So the more you do it, the better off you'll be, and the less and less frustrated that you'll get. And the main thing that I always say is don't be emotional when it comes to cold calling, because it's not that serious, to be honest with you. If you don't want to deal with if you don't want to sell, on to the next. I'm trying to find a person that does, right? So just don't get frustrated. Just stay in it. Keep going. Hope that helps. Good question, though. Good question. Good question. It is fucking hot, bro. Miss Stacy, what are some resources needed to start? Resources needed. I always recommend you get your laptop, you get your computer, you get you some Wi-Fi, like the basic stuff. You get you a phone, right? The basics. Those are needs. You need all of that stuff. Now, do you need all that stuff? Do you need any of these next things to close deals? No. But if you want to close deals at a faster pace, more efficient doing it, you want to get to your first deal faster, I always recommend some sort of software to increase your efficiency. So whether you're doing cold calling or sending out text messages, there's no way you can send out 100 text messages in an hour just by manually doing it. There's no way you can cold call, 50 people in an hour just by manually doing it, right? You have to get software that's going to create that efficiency for you. So whatever your marketing strategy is, I always recommend getting a software to help with that. And then PropStream, you need a software to help you run comps and things like that. Find cash buyers. It don't have to necessarily be PropStream, but you can use the MLS if you have access to that through an agent. And those are like the main tools that you really, really need, resources. Obviously, when you talk about people, other wholesalers that's active in the market, real estate agents, closing attorneys, title companies, things like that, boots on the ground to go take pictures and photos, a CRM. You definitely need a CRM so you can manage and track your leads and things like that. I know people that's sitting out here with notepads and pen and paper trying to manage and track leads, and that's not efficient. That's not going to help you for the long term. So these are some different resources that are definitely needed to get started. So I hope that helps. If that helped, let me know. Let me know. Try not to stay too long on one question because I know I could blabble on and on and on. Elm City. I just started using Privy because of the on-market information with potential MLS deals. What do you think of pursuing on-market listings first? If you want my honest opinion, me and my buddies were talking about this shit yesterday. I feel like anybody who pursues on-market deals are lazy, especially starting out. Very lazy. One, there aren't that many on-market deals out there, right? On-market deals are hard to come by, right? You may get lucky. You might pop one off. I never heard of Privy either. You may get lucky. You might pop one off, but you're wasting your time looking at these on-market deals. I have people in my DMs saying, I'm looking at on-market deals. You're wasting your fucking time. You're wasting your time. Because why? On-market deals have already been looked at, already been sifted through. The prices are already higher. If you're looking at an on-market deal and it's on the market, been on the market for 50 days, obviously the price is too high and it has 700 views. So many people done seen that deal. So even if you do get it under contract, you got to get it under contract for a really, really, really low price in order for somebody to move on it. On top of on-market deals, you got to deal with real estate agents. Not all real estate agents or realtors or what they call themselves deal with wholesalers. Not all their brokerages understand how to work with wholesalers. A lot of wholesalers are fucking up the market and fucking up regulation because they're going after on-market deals and making realtors believe that they're actual cash buyers when they're not. And what that does, that pisses off the brokerages, and then the brokerages get pissed off at wholesalers, and then the brokerages complain to the real estate commission or whoever the fuck, whoever runs the real estate. So when we go after on-market deals, it's not worth the time. I'm gonna just be honest with you. It's not worth the time. But we all do it getting started, right? You think you're looking on Zillow, you're looking on, Realtor.com, think you're gonna find a deal. Chances are you're probably not, but you might get lucky. But like I said, you might get lucky, but at the same time, you're dealing with so much different things. Realtors, brokerages, rules, regulations, you know what I'm saying? Different type of paperwork, different kind of contracts. You're dealing with a property that's been seen so many different times already. It's just a waste of time. And I feel like it's a lazy way. It's a lazy way to try to get deals. My opinion, right? So we don't deal with on-market deals at all. All of the deals that we've done are off-market. Because you might have a seller that probably got 10 calls a day, on their property. But if you talk to them, you can get them at a low price. But if you looking at an on-market deal, that deal's been seen by hundreds of people already. You know what I'm saying? Now you're at a bidding war with retail buyers. You're at a bidding war with hedge funds. You're in a bidding war. You're at a bidding war with hedge funds, which are the people that you probably are going to sell that deal to. So it doesn't really make sense. So that's me on my soapbox about on market. All in all, I do not recommend going on market, all off market deals. Going on market is a lazy strategy to try to find deals. I understand people don't have the funds or whatever, and they think you can find a deal by looking at Zillow and shit like that. You may come across a few, but not always. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thoughts on it. Let's see what we got. Patrick, have you ever used Novation? Can you explain it? I've never done a Novation. I don't want to explain it because I don't have any experience behind that. So I'll keep it 100 with you in that regard. Let me see. We got some kickback. I respect your view, but there are people doing and making millions doing on-market deals if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing. So you added that in there. A lot of new people, like I said, a lot of people that get fresh in the game, they're new, don't know what the fuck they're doing. They try to go on market. But like I said, I didn't say that you can't do deals on market, but I'm saying as far as like, as somebody that's new, that's getting in the game, I'm pretty sure if you have to compare between on market and off market, the people are making more money wholesaling off market deals than they are wholesaling on market deals. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion on it. You know, you can kind of take it how you want, but that's just how I feel about it. So, I mean, you can go across, you can ask many wholesalers, how many on-market deals versus how many off-market deals have you closed? And they'll probably tell you they've closed more off-market than on-market. People that are actually successful. So you can take it how you want. That's just my opinion. Yeah. But essentially, Novation, just Google it. Like, basically, a Novation is you partnering with the seller, right? Essentially saying, hey, you seller, like, I'm going to sell your property. You know, we're going to go under contract and we're going to, once I find a buyer, essentially, you know, you're going to agree to it. Once the buyer comes in, then you guys do the deal that way versus making an offer initially. It's kind of like you agreeing to purchase the property contingent on finding a buyer or something like that. So that's my gist of it. I don't know too much about it. I would say recommend and Google it. Cause I don't really know too much about it. Let's see. What are some signs that you're in a bad market? There's no activity. There's no development. There's no new building. There's no cash transactions. There's no renovations going on. That's a sign that you're in a bad market. There's no growth, things like that. There you go. They provide the property. You fix it up and sell it. There it is. So Sean Mark, he knows. I've been doing on market in Atlanta. Love talking with the agents. If the Lord says the same, I should have 2 properties going under contract soon. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I don't have anything against anybody that goes on market. It's just my opinion. My opinion. What's a CRM? So a CRM is a customer relationship management system. So it's essentially it's software where you're managing your leads, right? So you're putting notes in the leads. You have calendars on there. You have follow-up dates, things like that. So a CRM is just a system or a software where you can store and manage the leads. And when I say leads are people that said, yes, I want to sell my property. A lead isn't from a list that you pull and you haven't talked to them or qualified them yet. So a lead is somebody that's interested in selling their property. Hope that helps. Let's go. You find your off-market deals on MLS and PropStream. We find our off-market deals off of PropStream. What up? We find our off-market deals from PropStream. We also do it like by referrals, things like that. But primarily we get them off of PropStream. But you can go to the county. You go to the courthouse. You can Google your county website for code violations, things like that. And you can find, property addresses and off-market, potential off-market deals that way. Markel, any advice on getting and training a VA? Really want to make sure I put my time in him or her, or put her in the best position to be successful and make a return on my money. The main thing is, depending on where you're trying to hire at, right? Are you trying to hire in a cold call? But either way, you just want to make sure you train them. The best advice on training is training every week until you get a consistent flow, a consistent rhythm. When it comes to training, do role plays, listen to their calls, have them listen to your calls, do some critique on their calls, things like that, and just be consistent with the role plays, be consistent with the meetings. If you meet every day if you need to review their numbers, review their performance. Absolutely, we meet on a weekly basis to review the numbers, review their performance, set proper expectations. I recommend always doing the cold calling. If you're doing cold calling, I always recommend do the cold calling yourself. That way you can set realistic expectations, because people who don't do cold calling, they hire a VA and they don't know exactly what to expect. So you might hire a VA and you may expect them to call, to get 5 leads a day, but you haven't even cold called that. So, and you don't even know if that's a 5 lead a day market. So if they get 1 lead or 0 leads a day, you don't know if that's good or bad or not. So, the main thing is, lead from the front, do your cold calling first if that's what you're hiring them for, and then train on a daily or weekly basis, reviewing KPIs, setting the right expectations, letting them understand what their numbers or what their goals are to hit every week, and things like that. Also offer incentives as well. I'm going to get to the questions. I don't mind. Look, just keep asking. She's taking advantage of the opportunity. Take advantage of the opportunity. I ain't mad at you. She the one typing them in there. Sorry, answer that. Good question there. What else? I got fucking gnat flying around. It's annoying. All right, let me get to the other one. Let's see what we got here. Pop up. Evan Owens, I'm a realtor. I ended up getting 2 deals under contract. Where do I find a buyer? So there's a few places you can find a buyer. You can go on the MLS. You already got access to that. Look at the cash transactions in that area, right? And search up those buyers that made those cash transactions. Either call the agent that represented that buyer and see if they want to buy more property, or call that buyer directly if you can find the LLC owner. You can use software like PropStream. What I noticed is between PropStream and the MLS or the FMLS, sometimes there may be some properties on one and not on the other, and vice versa. So having access to both is very helpful. Another way to find buyers, you can reach out to other wholesalers in JV and partner up, right? Depending on where you're at, you can partner up in JV. People have buyers that are active, so partner up JV with people. You can reach out to other real estate agents, other realtors, right? You can reach out to them, see if they have access to buyers, right? So those are just a few ways where you can find a buyer. Or you can market your deal on Facebook and all that stuff, but I recommend that last. Trayshawn, any tips for complete starters who have the funds? Like I said earlier, you probably wasn't in here. First thing is you want to jump on your mindset. You want to focus on that. Think about how bad you want this shit. Like, don't quit. Understand it's going to take a while. It's not like, you jump in today and you're going to get a deal in 30 days. That's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? So, understand that it's going to be a process. It's going to be a journey. Now, if you do have funds, you got to know how to allocate those funds for the right things, right? So the majority of your funding need to go to marketing. You need to be finding people who want to sell, pulling lists, finding lists of property owners, getting their phone numbers, skip tracing, and contacting them to see if they want to sell, and building a database of leads that want to sell their property. From there, then you want to start reaching out to those people who want to sell their property in your database and make offers. So those are like the first things to to get started. A few tips there. And be consistent. Be consistent. API LLC, starting out, did you make dumb mistakes and how did you bounce back? Yeah, I always made dumb mistakes. I mean, one of the main mistakes I made is, putting properties under contract at too high of a price, not understanding how to run comps. How did I bounce back from that? I just started running comps on damn near every property to try to figure out what makes sense. Also, just putting offers out. Sometimes you got to put offers out to see, what buyers are going to be, what buyers are going to bite, what buyers are really willing to pay sometimes. Also, another mistake that I made was jumping into a market that wasn't as active, right? So I'm thinking I'm jumping in a market where there's not much buyer activity, but when there's not much buyer activity, I can't sell my deal. So I was like, fuck it. Let me go and compete in a bigger market, in a bigger lake, with bigger fish. So that's what I did. And from there, it's just been up. But those are like a few mistakes. My guy, Keith, what up? Let's see what else. Shout out to T. She in there making moves, man. She helping the people. That's my girl. Miss Stacy, you can wholesale state-owned properties owned by land banks or state. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so. Somebody in the group can kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't done it. So I'm not 100% sure about that. But I don't think so. If I'm correct, I don't think you can. What was your contract fee or assignment fee when you first started? I've seen people get $5K from one deal and up to $63K. My first assignment fee was $3,000. $3,000. Sean Mark DJ, what is the best list to pull from PropStream? So there's different, it's not just one specific list. Like what we do is different. We create our own list. We use our own filters. Like we create our own shit, our own criteria essentially. But all the lists work. It just all depends on your market. It depends on how often you're hitting it, how consistent you're hitting the list. So I wouldn't say there's a best list, but I would say the ones that work the most, is tenant occupied properties. Like people who own a property or absentee owners, right? So people who own a property that they don't live in. Those people are more likely to sell that property because they don't live in it. So what we've been dealing with currently is when you go high equity and people that actually live in a house, if they want to sell the property, they're going to have a hard time finding a new one. Most people, right? So that's what we've been dealing with. But if you get and talk to people who are absentee owners, have a tenant occupied property, whatever the case may be, then they're going to be more willing to sell their property because they don't live in it. Hope that makes sense. John, how much time did you give to test the market out till you realized it wasn't a good one? That one market, it took me like 3 months to realize that market was trash. But I was all over the place, man. I'll be honest with you. I was all over the place. But when I talk about markets, I'm still working in Georgia. So I don't do anything virtual outside the state of Georgia. But I do market in different cities across Georgia, right? So there's like 3 or 4 major cities across Georgia. That's what we market to. But there's like other small little towns and shit like that I was working out of, and I realized it was trash. But yeah, hope that makes sense. But yeah, it was like 3 months. All right, Daryl, what does your acquisition team look like? So our acquisition team is me and another acquisitions rep. We're both the acquisitions manager and we have a follow-up specialist. So essentially the follow-up specialist passes over like how the leads that's ready to go. And then me and my other acquisitions rep, we just build that relationship and build that rapport and make the offers. So it's 3 of us right now. FN Chris, if I'm cold calling with no dialer, how many numbers do I need to hit every day for efficiency? You're never going to be efficient doing it that way. If you want my honest opinion, you're never going to be efficient doing it that way. I can't even tell you because, like I said, I was doing it that way for a while and it wasn't efficient. So that's what made me fucking lock in and get a dialer, because when I got the dialer, everything changed. It was more efficient. So, if you want to be efficient, you need a dialer. There's no way you're going to be efficient without a dialer. No way. No way. Let's see. 980. What are some tips to improve marketing and sales skills? What are some tips to improve marketing and sales skills? So one, read, right? You want to read, you want to educate yourself, right? You want to learn, just keep learning. There's a book, this book right here, Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. It's a good book for negotiating and sales. So that's a good one. As far as marketing goes, and then you got to test things out. You have to try things too. So read, educate yourself, and start testing things out, and then being consistent with doing what you're doing. So those are some tips to improve. Some basic tips. Swift Pace. What is the best way to get land only funding? I'm not 100% sure. I haven't dealt with land, bro. To be completely honest, I've only dealt with single family houses. So I'm not a land guy at all. I hate dealing with land, but there's money in it. But I just don't understand it. Let's see. All right, I gotta answer that one. Mozart Gates. Why are investors turning the neighborhood black? I'm not even gonna answer that. That's not relevant right now. Funny guy. Miss Stacy, how much is the ebook? It's like $30. $30. I don't know how to offer prices on land. Every time I make an offer on land, it's gonna be dirt low and nobody takes it. So it's a waste of my time. FN Chris, dialer you recommend? I recommend Call Tools. Call Tools is like the best dialer in my opinion. I've used like $4 before, and Call Tools is the best one by far. So if you want to get a good discount on Call Tools, $99 a month, click the link in my bio and use my referral link. You get it at a discount. If you don't use my referral link, they're going to charge you $150 a month. So save you some money. So that's the dialer I recommend. Miss Stacy, what's that list you just mentioned? REI Pro Dash. I'm confused, Stacy. It wasn't a list. I don't know. I'm confused on the question. The list that I mentioned was, I think it was talking about best list to pull. It was tenant occupied. I don't know what Dash is. Swift, do you know anything about construction to permanent mortgages? I do not, Swift. Unfortunately, I do not. All I do is wholesale right now, and I'm just starting to get into flipping right now too. I wasn't trying to be funny. I want you to address that silly comment she made. Yeah, I mean, it's really nothing to address, to be completely honest. You know what I mean? I mean, she said what she said. She believed what she believed. But you can't change anybody's beliefs. If they believe what they want to believe, that's just what it is. You know, we have the right to our own opinion and to our own thoughts. So if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. You know what I mean? Like, I have no issue with that. You know, unfortunately, it's sad that that's where we are and that's how people are, but it's just we have the right to have our own opinions about everything. So I don't give it no energy, to be honest. I don't let it upset me. I just found that, you know, it was something to post and to let people know that there's really people out here that really are like that and talk like that and think like that. But at the end of the day, you can't, you know, I was getting a lot of DMs and things like that. Oh, I would have handled it differently. I would have said this. My thing is, don't give it energy. You know what I'm saying? This person is on the freaking phone. So what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't give it the energy. On to the next, not spending my time, not wasting my time on it. Not going to let it affect me at all mentally. It's not going to slow down my day. At the end of the day, she doesn't want to sell her property. That's the end of it. I don't give a damn if you're racist, you like black people, don't like black people. At the end of the day, do you want to sell your property or not? Because that's what it's all about. That's the main reason why I'm calling. I'm not calling to try to be friends with you. I'm calling to buy your fucking property and make money. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that. Crystal, is PropStream the only resource you use for your leads? Primarily, we use this website called the Georgia Public Notice. We actually started pulling pre-foreclosures off of that. Haven't seen any results yet from that. Haven't did any skip tracing off of it yet. So we're going to check that out and see what the results are on that. But primarily it's just been prop stream pulling at a large quantity at one time. But we're actually exploring like other softwares, other options to kind of see where we can get some more data from. But most of our deals came off of prop stream. Smoke a lot. What does your lead VA do? The one that you first hired. So what she does right now, she recruits, she hires, she trains, she manages, she pays all of our cold callers. So right now we have 4 cold callers, and she makes sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. They stay engaged, they stay active, they stay working. And then she sends us like daily reports. She sends us weekly reports, and she sends us monthly reports. She lets us know. She managed the dialer system, so she does all of that stuff for us. So we don't have to do any of that marketing side. And yeah, it's been great. You know what I mean? So that's what she does. So whenever a VA, so we already had like 2 VAs that she had to fire because of whatever reason, and she interviewed new ones and brought them on the team, and that's how it goes. And we don't have to do that. Let's see what else we got. Keep them coming. Pablin Ho, I think I said that right. Pablin, I probably said it wrong. Sorry, dude. What's the best way to get property tax records ownership? Skip tracing is not always accurate. Sometimes you just have to do some extra digging, extra research, man. You might have to go on Facebook. You may have to reach out to a relative or something like that. So it just really all depends, man. Go to, the county clerk site, like the public record site. You can check that out to see who the owner is. I mean, skip tracing is not always going to be accurate. You may have to do a different form of marketing, right? If the phone number is not working, you may have to send direct mail. You may have to go up to the house if you really want it bad enough and door knock. Things like that. You have to try different methods. You know what I'm saying? You have to get creative and think outside the box. Send postcards, shit like that. The man up. Do you own any properties yourself or mainly just wholesale? So right now I don't own anything. I actually had a house, but I sold it because I didn't like it. It was a townhouse, and I do not like townhouses. So I sold it in like a year and a half. I hated it. But right now, I don't own any properties, but we do have one that we're looking to acquire and bring on as a rental property. We actually just looked at it yesterday. Well, we had somebody else go out and look at it yesterday. So we're looking to make a decision on it soon. But yeah, we're looking to take down some properties ourselves as well. See, how do you recommend finding leads while working full time? Main thing is you can send text messages. You got to market. Your marketing game got to be different. You can send SMS while you're working full time. You have to put in some time when you get off of work. I don't want nobody to tell me that they don't have enough time. I had to sacrifice my Saturdays to do some calling. So there's always time to do it. You just have to commit to doing it. And stop making excuses that you work too much or you work too long. Like every single day, I was working an 8 to 5 job. When I got off of my 8 to 5 job, I get home at about 6:30. I start cold calling at 6:30 till about 7:30. Damn near every day, Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday, I didn't work on Saturdays. So what I did was I would cold call from 10 a.m. to like 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturdays. I did that for months. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it takes. You have to create your time. You have to make your time. And part of that, I was doing some SMS as well. So I would send like SMS blast campaigns throughout the day and see if I get any leads that way. I would do that. So that's probably be something that can help you out as well. Or referrals is going to be heavy. You could probably do some Facebook, marketing, posting on Facebook and things like that. So you have to get real creative. And think outside the box and try to do some things that can generate leads that come into you if you don't have that much time to do any proactive lead generating, if that makes sense. Hope that helps. From the gutter, what schedule do you put your VAs on every day? So our VAs are on. They call from Monday through Saturday. They call from 9 a.m. to 1 for 4 hours. They'll take a 2-hour break, and then they'll call from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday. So that's their schedule. Let's see. Well, Ricardo, you think there is more pre-foreclosures now? I'm not 100% sure. I don't really look at data, to be honest. I only pay attention to our data. So I don't look at outside data or anything like that, to be completely honest. So I don't know what the numbers look like or anything like that, but possibly it might be. I think it's going to be later on. It's going to continue to be, because a lot of people, they're getting into these properties. They're paying a lot of money for these houses. They're overbidding. They're overpaying for these houses. So I'm thinking in 1 to 2 years, they're not going to be able to afford it anymore, and it's going to get in that pre-foreclosure status, right? So in my opinion, I think there might be more pre-foreclosures going on, but I'm not 100% sure. Only Tay, what's your next step in real estate journey? So my next step right now, like I said earlier, the new thing that we're about to start doing is going to be, we're about to start flipping. We're about to get into the fix and flip, game, rehab game. And then also, jumping into like multifamily and rentals. So, that's going to be like the next step in the real estate journey. So be on the lookout for that shit, man. It's going to be exciting. It doesn't stop. It does not stop. How effective were the SMS blasts? I mean, I'm not 100%. I don't know. I didn't like it, but it was a way to generate some leads. But you send out all those messages and you get some. Is the sound on? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Up, down, up, down, up, down. No, yes, no, yes. No. God damn, I forgot to go on Do Not Disturb. Oh, y'all can hear me? Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. All right, bet. Usually when somebody calls me, it like you can't hear me anymore. All right, so damn. I gotta go back to the question. Okay, so this another question here. Smoke a lot. How does your lead VA pay the cold callers? So I pay her and she pays them. And the reason why we do that is that I don't have to pay 5 separate transaction fees. I just pay 1 transaction fee and she pays everybody else. So that's how much I trust her. She's a beast. She's all on board. That's how we pay. Oh, okay. Your question, Manner Up. Yeah. So as far as the SMS goes, it worked. You got some leads and things like that. The response rate is low. I mean, you get a lot of people are very bold when it comes to text messaging. They'll tell you some crazy ass numbers. They'll say $1 million, $2 million, or they'll tell you to fuck off. They'll say some explicit shit. It's wild. Like, you'll deal with a lot of that, but you'll get some people that say, yes, I'm interested. Yes, if you can pay this, right? So it's a mixture of both, right? It was effective. SMS is effective, but the thing with SMS, you have to be, there's a lot more regulation on SMS now with the providers, the cell providers. So sending out messages, asking, offers, saying certain terminology, key terms in the messages, is going to like block your messages from going. So, you just gotta understand it a little bit more, versus cold calling. I can call somebody like, hey, you want to sell your property for for cash versus sending a text message like that and it probably won't even go through. So it just all depends, you know what I mean? And a lot of people do very, very well with SMS. So like T, she's on here. She says she loves it. So I would say, you know, get with somebody that does SMS a lot and how they do it, and get some knowledge from them, because we don't even do SMS. Oh yeah, join the unity. Hustlers only. Action takers only. How have you found the most deals? MLS, D4D, services, shut off lists, other listing sources. We found the most of our deals from PropStream. We pull all of our lists from PropStream and we market directly to them. There's deals on PropStream. People be like, oh, there's no deals on PropStream, but it's all about how much fucking data you have and how much you are marketing to that data. If you only pull a list of 200 property addresses, the chances are you're not going to really find a deal off of that. You need thousands and thousands and thousands of property addresses, skip trace, you know what I'm saying, to find shit. So if you don't have, I would recommend, if you have probably about 2,000 skip trace property addresses, then you should find some deals out of that. If you only have 100 property addresses to market to, then you're going to be behind. Let's see. T silly. Dispositions just as difficult as acquisitions in your opinion? I don't think so. I think dispositions is a little bit easier. As long as you got a good deal, it's good. But acquisitions is on the harder side, because you got to take time to nurture these leads. Sometimes you have to make the right offer. You have to provide the right value. Acquisitions is definitely a little bit harder. That's why when it comes to getting the deal, that's why it's way more buyers than there are inventory, than it is inventory, right? So it's way harder to get the deals. That's why when you get them, there's a lot of buyers that's interested. So everybody has fucking buyers, right? So the only thing that nobody has is deals. So, or inventory. So the people who have the value is the deal. So the people who have the properties under contract, that's where the value is. You know what I'm saying? So to simply answer your question, acquisitions is harder. Dispositions can be difficult only if the property is too high in price. But if you get a property at a good price, you can sell that shit. Smoke a lot. What's the difference between disposition and acquisition? So acquisitions is when you're acquiring the property, right? So acquisitions is when you're reaching out to sellers, you're making offers, you're getting the property under contract. That's acquisitions. Dispositions is once you got the property under contract, you're marketing the property out to buyers. You're trying to find buyers and you're putting the property under contract with buyers. So that's the difference. So acquisitions, acquire. Phone going dead. Gully, you got to get off my girl, man. You gotta get off my girl. Don't be talking trash to my girl T. Carlos, what's your average of prospects till you get a deal? So you mean lead to deal? I don't know that number right now. I gotta look at it. I gotta look at that stuff. That's the number that we need to know, though. So he's looking for the amount of leads to turn into a deal. I don't know that number off the top of my head. My boy Mike knows it though. I gotta look at that shit, but yeah, I don't know that number, Carlos. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: it's a lot. It is a lot. It's probably like 100 and something leads, 100 something leads per deal. Let's see. What's next? Who's next? Logan, how do you figure out your max offer? So there's a few different ways. You can use the MAO formula. So the MAO formula is you take the ARV, you multiply it times 65, 70, 75, 80, 85%. You can go all the way up to 85% in some markets. And you subtract the estimated amount of repairs. Once you subtract the estimated amount of repairs, that's the number that the buyer is willing to pay, right? Now you have to subtract your assignment fee from that. So if you want to make 10K, then you have to subtract 10K off of that. And that's what you need that's the max amount you can offer your seller. Does that make sense? So I'll repeat it. So you take the ARV, right? You multiply it, average is like 70%. So you multiply that times 0.7, and then you minus the estimated amount of repairs, right? So repairs is like 30,000, and you minus 30,000, right? Then that's the number, and that number that you get right there, that's what the buyer is willing to pay. That's gonna be the max number that the buyer is willing to pay, right? And then from there, you subtract your assignment fee, and then that's the max amount that you can offer a seller to make that assignment fee. That's one way to do it. If you're getting into fix and flips and rehabs, if you're dealing with local buyers and things like that, that's the numbers, that's the formula that you need to use for them. Now, if you're dealing with hedge funds, depending on the criteria of the hedge fund, like the criteria of the property, they can pay up to 95% of ARV. You see what I'm saying? So it just all depends on the property. Now, another way you can do it by, it's in my book. You can do it by looking at cash sales and seeing what the cash sales are in the area, and seeing, so if you see a cash sale for, 100,000, 105,000, 110,000 on a similar property, then you need to get the property under contract for less than that to make X amount. So that's like looking at an as is cash offer kind of deal. But there's a few ways you can find that. What exactly is that 30% accounting for in the example of 70% times ARV? Good question, because a lot of people don't know that. So what that 30% is accounting for is I think it's 6% for holding costs, 6% for real estate commissions, things like that, and closing costs, and then it's the rest is profit. So you got 12% there, and you got 18% is for profit. So that's what that 30% is accounting for. So that's why they want to be at like 70% ARV. But then you have some people that will take a lesser profit. Because remember, if you're doing a flip, that 6% for the real estate commission, that's going to be constant. That's going to stay there, usually, more often than not. That 6% for holding costs and things like that, that's going to be constant. That's going to stay there. The only thing you can adjust is the amount of profit. So you can go, lower on the profit from that 18% to, let's say 12% or whatever the case may be. So that's what that 30% is accounting for. Does that make sense, API? Yes, Stacy, the formulas are in the book. Everything's in the book that you need from A to Z. I got you. Got you covered in there. What's the percentage in ATL? It just all depends on the area, man. Like some people go up to 85%. It just all depends on the area. But on average, I think most people, they want to be at around 70%. If they can get at 65%, that's a smoking hot deal for them. But around 70% is probably where most people want to be at. But some buyers will pay up to 85% in certain areas. Yeah. Yeah, and the dialer, I use Call Tools. Yep, appreciate it, T. Thank you, I missed that one. Yeah, Call Tools. What up, John? My dude. But yeah, y'all got any more questions? About to get out of here in a second. Time to eat. Wanted to do this quick little power hour. Think I'm going to get back on here tomorrow, man. I haven't been on here in a while. I know I saw somebody mention they missed it. So I'm going to come back on here tomorrow and do another little power hour, probably, later on in the evening. I never tried Zen Call. Call Tools is what I like the most. What's the earliest I can cold call? You can start at 9 a.m. But yeah, so what else? Keep pushing, being great. Appreciate it, John. Appreciate you, my dude. Yeah, 9 a.m. you can start calling Billy there. Plug, 9 a.m. That's when we start. You can start at 8 if you want, but we start at 9. But yeah, so I'm about to wrap this up, you guys. Appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. If you guys want any resources, I have recorded calls in my bio. I have a link to join my Discord community. We going crazy. T is in here. We already at like 45,000, 46,000 in closed revenue for the month. Our goal is 85,000. So this is just people in the group that's just been closing deals on their own, and we're gonna come together and set our own numbers and kind of create goals off of that. I do giveaways in the Discord group. It's called Wholesale Unity. Actually, I'm giving away $100 to anybody who gets a contract signed between now and Friday. Oh, my guy in here too. Yeah, we got my people in here. Ned Invest. So, people that are in the Unity, they know what's up. But yeah, so if you need any resources, any tools, just click the link in my bio. Join the Unity. It's valuable. It's great. I give all the game there. But other than that, you guys be great. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Be sure to tap in tomorrow evening and be on the lookout for when I go live then. All right. Later.